Well, what is going on, Notre Dame fans? Mike Singer and Tim Hyde live on the Blue and Gold YouTube channel on a fine Tuesday evening, settling in nicely to our new slots off of Wednesdays, which we've been doing for a few years, but we're in the Tuesday night slot now. Tim, how's everything in the boathouse, my friend?
Yeah, back in the boat. So it's all good. We had a little work done to it, hanging out. Took that bad boy out earlier, did a little fishing. Ready to talk some Notre Dame football. So let's rock and roll. Really excited. What do we got? A couple more weeks, Mike? I can't believe it. It's like, what the heck, man? I feel like
Yeah,
I think we just were celebrating that mighty Sun Bowl trophy not too long ago. And here we are getting ready for A&M. So
yeah,
it's exciting times, Mike.
yeah. People talk about Notre Dame without a major bowl win for so long. What about the Sun Bowl?
Hey, twice, Mike. Twice in the last dozen years. Come on, people.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know?
There you go. Folks, please hit the thumbs up on this YouTube video and subscribe to the channel for more content if you are new here or if you're returning and haven't subscribed yet for whatever reason. Just click the button. It's free. We'd love for you to be a part of our Blue and Gold YouTube community. Tim, this is our second straight day of YouTube programming here. We'll have another show tomorrow night with Jack Sobel and Tyler Horka, our beat guys at Blue and Gold. If you want more insight of how things are going in practice and whatnot, going to want to definitely hear from those guys on Wednesday night and then Thursday afternoon. Like 16 hours later or something, Kyle Kelly and I will be live to talk some Notre Dame recruiting. And that's in addition to, the different practice update videos and whatnot that's we edit and upload throughout the week. So yeah, we'll definitely have you covered. And then we'll have the post game shows. The Goolsby show will be back weekly, so it'll be a good time. And
Are you guys going to be doing a live show anytime soon down in Mississippi, or is that still you guys still looking into that? You and Kyle?
what the hell are you talking about, Tim?
Just joking. It's recruiting, Mike. Come on. It's only one topic when it comes to recruiting.
Yeah, I don't know. Don't know about that one.
There you go.
Don't know about that one. But yeah, a lot going on. But exciting time. And of course, we have our Blue and Gold websites that I have to plug. $1 for 2 months. I mean, I'm going to keep talking about this until it's gone. Special offer, $1 for 2 months when you use the promo code UND1. Promo code UND1 over on our website. Tim, you just talked about it. How close we really are to this game. Hold on.
Oh, it's here, my friend.
It's so close. Like I mean, as I'm talking to my wife, we're doing this weekend, and then 18 days, Tim. We're doing this next weekend. Then it's like, oh my gosh, like my birthday's in a couple weeks, and it's like, oh, like 4 days after, it's like, oh, Notre Dame A&M. How are you feeling right now? What we're gonna have? What did I say for you? And Goolsby didn't respond yet, but
he'll be
for a show. We're gonna do. I think the 25th.
Yes,
we're gonna do our big season preview show, A&M predictions, all that kind of stuff.
Sounds good.
So we'll get together. Hopefully, I'm sure Goolsby will good for on the 25th.
Yeah.
But Mr. Hyde, how are you feeling about that game right now? You thinking you're going to be predicting a Notre Dame win? How are you feeling about the Irish right now after what you've seen from fall camp and the reports and the videos and whatnot?
Yeah, I mean it's number one, it's an exciting game because obviously kicking off the season, it's year 3. Yes, Texas A&M is not Alabama. They're not LSU, whatnot. They haven't won a national title since my grandfather joined the Navy in World War II. It's been that long. They haven't won a conference title since the late 90s. I think the last one was 98, 99 with Dat Wynn, one of my favorite college football players of all time, the great linebacker at A&M. But when you hear Texas A&M, you get excited because of the crowd, the stadium, the crazy cheerleaders on the side doing all the yells and the rants and the midnight yell that they do, the practice and whatnot. It is fun. It's Texas A&M. But then when you take a step back and you relax, and hopefully all Notre Dame fans are doing this, Mike, they're the 9th ranked team in the SEC. So is Notre Dame really going to go down and lose to the 9th ranked team in the SEC? This is what I'm starting to, as I start to get a little excited as we get closer to the game. So there's Notre Dame fans that say, hey, we should join the SEC. Well, then you should go down and take care of business against the 9th best team in the conference. So you got a middle-of-the-road SEC team that's been in turmoil the last few years. Yes, they got a hell of a coach. Yes, they got good football coaches, good football players. Their blue chip ratio is exactly the same as Notre Dame. After all the transfers, they've had 8,000 transfers, yet they still have the same amount of blue chips that Notre Dame has. So that obviously an equal playing ground. Obviously Notre Dame with a couple issues here and there that we all know about, but at the same time, it's Notre Dame, man. Go beat the 9th best team in the SEC. That's what I'm starting to get to. So I hope everyone agrees with that. But is it gonna be hard? Of course, because it's a road trip. It's game one. It's gonna be 117 degrees, the humidity, all the craziness. What is A&M? 110,000 people. It is going to be bonkers. It is going to be loud, so damn loud, and it is going to be wild. But Notre Dame, man, it goes back to that tweet I saw a couple of weeks ago for the Reese's pieces. They always have the Reese's cup on there. That's why I get excited. I love peanut butter. But the Senior Bowl, Senior Bowl, where they had like 12 Notre Dame players on the watch list. That's not even including. They were still missing like 4 other 5th-year, 6-year seniors, like Jordan Clark, Rod Hurd wasn't on that. Obviously, Benjamin Morrison, we're expecting to go pro early. This is, I talked about this a few weeks ago. This is like one of the oldest Notre Dame teams. I'm talking 2012 title run. Obviously, 2020, an old team, Final Four run. The great 93 team was stacked with old guys all up and down that roster. So, man, this is an old roster, and that's what I'm excited about is hopefully all these veterans are merging, which I'm sure they are. That's what summer conditioning's for, and getting hyped up with the new strength coach and all that. But, man, you're going on the road, man. This is your Super Bowl. It really is. It's game one. I love game one. Game ones where it's just everything thrown in the middle of the table. Let's go at it, guys.
I hate game one.
The next week you got Northern Illinois. So there you go. Home opener. Let's go see who you are in game one. That's what I'm excited about. But you're going on the road with an old veteran football team. Now a lot of young bucks going to be on that field.
Yeah. Okay. A few thoughts. One, I don't understand the point of watch lists. What are we doing here with watch lists? I write one article about a watch list per week. I have my Tuesday newsstand article, Blue and Gold.
Okay.
And I usually do a watch list in the month of August, but I don't really know what the hell they mean. If you don't make the watch list, does that mean you can't win the award? What's the point of the watch list? They're the stupidest thing. I hope this clip doesn't make its way to any of the committees, but it's all fun.
It's all fun. It's all hype. It's all who's returning, get a little people excited and stuff like that. So,
if you're getting excited over a watch list, then you are a junkie. Couple other thoughts. See if I can remember all of them.
You got to have the top 50, Mike. You got to have the top 50 centers up for the Remington Award. For the top center. Yeah. Just list them all, right? It's like
I remember having a conversation, to your point about how old Notre Dame is. I remember having a conversation with this source. I think it was last October. Very plugged in source on the Notre Dame side of things, and talking about next year's team. There was great concern about Notre Dame on the defensive side of the ball. They're like, we're going to have to really go into the portal because we think the offense can be pretty good. They knew they were going to have to go to the portal for the offense side of the ball, but really like the running backs, young running backs, and tight end, offensive line. But it's like, man, that defense. Notre Dame did not expect to get all those guys back with Cross, Mills, Watts. That was the big three they returned, right? Yeah, in terms of, hey, don't go to the NFL, come on back. And then, Oben, I think, is a really nice defensive end. One other thought from your last spiel before we move on. I hate game one.
I love it.
Hate game one. To me, it's such a crapshoot.
Oh, yeah.
Because what those two teams are in week one, if they play again 8 weeks later, it's going to be completely different. I mean, Tim, you would know as in a parallel alternate universe, you are Notre Dame's head coach on EA College Football 25 with Mike Singer as your recruiting coordinator, and you blew a fourth quarter lead because anything can happen. because you're a different team right now. You're about to go into Florida State, or excuse me, about to go into that Florida State game, one loss, and firing on all cylinders. Might be tonight, by the way, after the show.
There you go.
There you go. But in all seriousness, it's I don't know. I'm nervous about it because it's game one on the road, and not because I think Notre Dame's a better football team. But yeah, game one on the road at A&M of all places does make me nervous.
Oh yeah, I mean that's the nerves because you wait for 9 months to get here. That's what's so awesome about football. 9 months, and you're right here. Like hockey just ended; they're already going to training camp. That thing's like year round. It feels like the NHL. Basketball is going to be starting up soon already, and it's like, my God, you guys just ended. You got Olympics. Football, man, it's 9 months. We'll see you guys in a bit, but that's what's so exciting, the build up, the excitement, going on the road, an SEC team, Texas, all the craziness. But man, if we all sit back, sure, is there issues with Notre Dame? Yes, but A&M has them as well. So
yeah, they
is it
do.
the depth? Is it the culture that Freeman? It's year 3 versus Elko in year 1, even though he was at A&M for 4 years. He knows that lifestyle there in College Station, but it's the elder statesman, man. There's loaded on defense, which is old players, old gray hairs everywhere. I mean, Mills, it's going to be Mills' 5th year playing. There's no red shirts on his resume. 5 years he's playing ball. All this. Next year is a different story. Year 4, holy moly, I have no idea. So let's just enjoy this one, because next year is going to be young bucks everywhere playing. So we'll see what happens there. But it's exciting. It's exciting. It's a hell of a football team, a stacked football team. I think goes back to the age, the old guys. Stay healthy, obviously. No big injuries with those old guys and whatnot. Hopefully they all play, contribute, and just go at it. And then, I mean, we'll get into the schedule, in a couple of weeks, but the schedule's set up, man. You got a big game, a month to chill. Another big game, a few more weeks. Big game, a few more weeks. And then you end at SC. So it's a nice flow. There's nothing back-to-back craziness. So stay healthy and just keep moving along and let Riley Leonard do his thing and deliver the football all over the place. Have some fun.
Okay, one more quick thought. I promise. Sure. Quick 30 seconds, as Tim Hyde would say.
I love it.
I just checked. I lost that game. Excuse me. You lost that game to A&M 20-17.
First to 20.
That's what I predicted. And last night's show, I picked 2017 Notre Dame win.
You did, okay.
I guess that number kind of stuck in the old noggin. Do you like a low-scoring game?
Yeah, I do. I don't know how. I mean, if this defense is what everyone thinks it is, so obviously they got to replace some dudes. So do those replacements? Are they ready to roll? Kaiser, when he did his interview a few days ago, someone asked him about coming back. He's like, I came back to be the dude. I came back to play. I came back to be the guy. So it's like, this is what I've been waiting for. So I know he's excited. They lost, obviously, some good NFL players all over the place. Can Christian Gray be a Cam Hart? But Cam Hart's a draft pick, a 5th-year guy, billion plays under him, all those little things. But the talent's there, the athleticism's there. So just get after it. Just get after it. I mean, it's right there, Mike. It's right there. But I've been saying for 9 months, right, since we ended that unbelievable Sun Bowl victory to cap a hell of a 2023 season off. First to 20. I just do. I think the first to 20. Now it can be Notre Dame gets to 20 and they win 38-17, right? But first to 20 is going to win that football game.
Okay. All right. I like it. Moving on. AP top 25. So it's so funny because look, when it comes to my show with you, my show with Goolsby, the topics are just different. And I threw a Tim Hyde topic to Goolsby last night, and I don't think it was a hit. I don't think Goolsby really wanted to talk about this. But I know this is something he does not.
What would you ask him?
About the reactions to the AP top 25. I'm sure the preseason one. I'm sure you will love talking about this. Goolsby's like, I don't give a crap. Let me talk about. And you love talking about matchups too, but you also like talk about this stuff. Goolsby's like, I want to talk about the pigeon toe or whatever.
Oh, he loves the feed in, loves them.
So anyway, Goolsby, I love you, dude. AP poll preseason. Here's the top 10 in order: Georgia, Ohio State, Oregon, Texas, Bama, Ole Miss, Notre Dame, Irish at 7. Penn State, Michigan, Florida State. So you have, is that just one two Notre Dame opponents. You got FSU
Yep.
at 10, A&M at 20. Oh, excuse me, 3, USC at 23.
Yep.
So that's what I've been saying about this schedule for the longest time. You do have 3 tough games.
Spread out.
But
very,
and then
very spread out.
And then, you got at Purdue, you got Louisville, I don't know, maybe Georgia. But no, it's 3 big games and then games that Notre Dame should win pretty easily. But anyways, Tim, look at the AP poll top 25 in the preseason. What's your reaction?
Well, okay, well, let's just be honest. If this stays, which we know it's not, what's his name? Brett Murphy does an unbelievable job always posting stuff. People should go read his Twitter from the last 24, 48 hours. Something like 20 out of the last 22 seasons, someone unranked has finished in the top 10. That's not even ranked in the pre. How crazy is that? I think only 2 times it hasn't happened. Something about, someone hasn't been outside. Someone go read it. I should have saved the darn thing, the tweet, talking about teams moving up. Yeah, I mean, half of these top 10 probably won't make the playoffs. That's what's so nuts about the poll. It's always based on last year, who's returning and all that. But if it goes as is, which is always fun to look at, you have Notre Dame going to Ole Miss. So,
all right, hold on. Let me, as you continue on, I know you love this kind of thing as well. College football playoff using the preseason AP poll.
Yep.
So you got Ole Miss 8, Notre Dame 9, Bama 7 playing Penn State 10. Oregon, Boise in the 5-12, I absolutely love, and Texas, Michigan in the 6-11 with Georgia, Ohio State, Florida State, and Utah getting buys. So I'll let you continue on.
No, go for it. It's like, so you look at this thing, we're talking about this experienced Notre Dame football team, talent all over the place. It's year 3. And you're going to go on the road? Is that a successful season? That's, you got to win the damn football game. But if you're going on the road, you're going to have 2 losses. So 10-2 Notre Dame going on the road to play SEC Ole Miss. How successful is a season that I think 99% of us hopefully would be frustrated because, we can say, well, we're a playoff team. I've been talking about this for a while. Making the playoffs is the same darn criteria as it is getting to a BCS New Year's 6 game. Finish in the top 12 Notre Dame and you're in. So it's not earth-shattering. I think the years when you make the Final Four and whatnot are way more important than getting a Fiesta Bowl bid and losing by 20. So that's, once again, we're just playing with numbers. Notre Dame has to have a successful season, man. You've got to host. You do not want to go on the road. You just don't. Because the conspiracy theorists, are the refs really going to help Notre Dame down there in Ole Miss? Heck no. So you better go down there and be twice as good as those guys that day. But that's the interesting part. And then, Mike, as I said before our show started, you're like, Tim, what are you oohing and ahhing at? Mike, this scares the hell out of me right huh?
Dude, you're killing it with the Tim Hyde bingo right now. If we were playing the mics,
am I okay?
I need an updated bingo card, but the mics, the scare the
hell
out of you has got to be one. But go ahead and continue.
As Tim Hyde likes to say here, and me and my all the old timers along with me, 1993 Notre Dame won the national title. Please put it up on the banner, will you? So let's go from 94 to 2024. Mike, this is the 10th time Notre Dame's been a preseason top 10. Only 10. 7 out of the previous 9. 7 out of the previous 9. They have finished outside the top 10. Not good. Not good. The only times they finished in was 2021, even though they had the meltdown in the Fiesta, and the 2020 team.
Yeah.
They were preseason 10 and finished number 5. 21, preseason 9, finished 8. Every other time, even a Freeman in there in 2022, preseason 5th, ended 18, but 7 out of 9. I just did this earlier when I was trying to look at some previous years. So that scares the hell out of me. So when Brett McMurray's talking about preseason teams falling out of the top 10, Notre Dame's done it 7 out of the last 9. So fingers crossed, Mike. You're muted, buddy.
I saw this from On3 today, Tim.
Sure.
Andy Staples wrote this. History says 12-team college football playoff bracket will be crazier than we imagine. And people can find this on three. But all right, so he says using, and it's Ralph Russo at the AP, using Ralph's data, he determined the best way to guess the bracket is like this. Using the AP preseason AP poll, choose 4 of the 5 teams ranked through 1 to 5. Choose 2 of the 5 teams ranked from 6 to 10. Choose 2 of the 10 teams ranked from 11 to 20. 1 of the 5 teams ranked from 21 to 25, and 3 unranked teams. So something like this. Something like this. So App State, UCF, and West Virginia, I think, are the 3 here. So I'm not going to read through this for podcast audience, but yeah, this, I mean, realistically, this is probably what it would look like. Something absolutely nuts. As a USF alum, I would rather get a root canal than UCF getting a freaking first round bye, unless it meant they would get Oregon and get absolutely smacked in the next round. But
hey, see, there's Notre Dame out of it, so there you go.
There's Notre Dame out of it as well.
So that would make 8 out of 10 years finishing outside the top 10 since 94. Wow, that's wild. Yeah, that's not a good stat. When I started looking at that, I'm like, oh, that's not good. So Notre Dame, break the streak and get your butts in there.
Okay.
But I love that. I mean, the polls are fun. It's just preseason. Some people don't like polls until you played 8 games. Just who cares? It's a freaking poll. Just win your games, you move up. Who cares?
Yeah.
Just have fun with them. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah. So, Tim, I've watched my fair share of Notre Dame games from my couch, but the few I've got to watch in person, pretty darn special. Just last year was at the Pitt game, which was pretty amazing, great atmosphere. Yeah, I mean, I'm a couch potato, a homebody, but there's really nothing like going to a game live, whether it's my favorite soccer teams, which I was just at a Manchester United Liverpool game, NFL, college football, even my favorite comedians. Seen the Impractical Jokers live before. You just want to be there in person. There's nothing like being in the room. And that's where we're going to meet today's sponsors, GameTime.co. Not .com, GameTime.co. A fast and easy way to buy tickets for sports, music, comedy, and theater near you with killer last-minute ticket deals. So you can just relax and get hyped for that fun that you're going to have. The website and app, super easy to manage, and Game Time has a new feature called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets to see your favorite teams play live even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. Some of the best aspects of Game Time, you got the all-in pricing. Toggling this feature shows the total upfront with no surprise fees at checkout. You can even check out seat views to get a panoramic view from your seat in the app before you buy. And with the low price guarantee, you'll get the lowest price guarantee, or Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. So folks, take out the guesswork of buying concert tickets, sporting event tickets, whatever it may be with Game Time. Download the app, create an account, and use the code ON3 for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem the code ON3. That's ON3 for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. All right. What do we got next, Mr. Hyde? Let's see. Okay, one of the more interesting hires. Notre Dame adding Anthony Tresh from Pro Football Focus. Okay, so I want to talk about this, and I highly recommend folks going to blueandgold.com. This gold standard is I usually run on Mondays or on Tuesday this week, but it's a premium article with some kind of intel or some kind of, it's like my big Notre Dame recruiting intel piece of the week. This one was an inside look at Notre Dame's recruiting office. Tim, did you read this by any chance?
Not yet, Mike.
Oh, you need to.
It's on the list.
So here's the people in the Notre Dame recruiting office, and here's what they do. And Anthony Tresh was on here. Notre Dame, I don't even know if the hire's official yet. But so you have your coaches, right? They pop on film. They do their traditional, hey, do I like this guy? Do I not? And then you have Matt Jansen, who's in like an NFL scouting background. So I think he might look at things differently than like just your normal old college coach. And then you have Anthony Tresh, who is doing evaluations from an analytical standpoint. Let me read a snippet I put in this article. His role will include an internal system for advanced scouting and evaluations. Like, I don't even really know what that means, but it's fascinating. He's worked at PFF for several years. We love PFF's data. I mean, some of the grade stuff is, subjective and whatnot, but the advanced data from PFF is pretty unmatched. So with guys like Tresh and Jansen, Matt Jansen, again, NFL background, but Notre Dame hired him away from West Virginia a year or two ago. You have these guys who are scouting high school recruits. They're already like scouting and doing background work on other teams for players who could enter the portal down the road. Also giving scouting reports of Notre Dame's opponents. That's what Jansen does. Notre Dame's opponents to the coaches, which I think is pretty fascinating. And you have your own roster evaluations. Jansen's doing that. Tresh is doing that from there. Whatever Jansen's advanced scouting looks like, whatever Tresh's analytical, data-driven stuff looks like. So you have these two guys, their job's threefold. You got recruiting, portal, and your own roster you're continuing to evaluate. The whole thing is fascinating to me. Whether, Tim, I don't know where you're going to stand on this. But for me, it's continuing to like try to improve, try to be better, push the boundaries, get ahead of the curve. Yeah, I don't know. Many people will be like, "Oh, I hate this. Get off my lawn. I'm going to yell at clouds." But I think that this is, I don't know, maybe ahead of the curve. And if it's a bust, who cares? We tried it out. But I think it could pay dividends. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't think Notre Dame fans like that. Be ahead of the curve, be the first one to offer, find the hidden gem. They've been doing that the last few years, Mike. I don't know how good that's working, but
it's not necessarily that. It's not only that.
I understand, but I'm just saying that's the first thing. Fans are thinking, "Oh my God, Mike, great, another guy to find a hidden gem for the SEC to pull." But no, it's cool. I love analytics. I like looking at numbers. I think it's fun. Some of the hidden data. It's funny they had to hire him. Can they just email the guy? He's a Notre Dame grad. He can probably send the stuff to him, but it's PFF. I mean, you just hit little buttons and you can find the numbers, but I guess they need someone.
Well, but like I said, they're creating their own internal.
So system. So when you say it's it's a recruiting based mechanism. Is that just?
I don't know. It's portal. It's their own team. I'm sure it's different systems for different things.
Yeah. Well, the portals. I mean, it's just more eyes. It's more eyes to look at. The roster. Go find. Okay, hey, Bo Collins. He could graduate a year from now and start collecting data on him, film on him. That's what they've been doing. That's why they've been so aggressive. When these guys before they hit the portal, we're already hearing their names. So, that's what it is. It's great. It's another guy in the office finding things, especially for recruiting. Someone like me, when you hear that thing, it's like, all right, you're trying to find more hidden gems, I guess. So, because some of the other ones you watch film, you don't need analytics on certain guys. You watch film, you're like, yeah, that's a no-brainer. What I need analytics, but I guess it's certain guys just to go keep finding the Anthony Knapp, for example. He's the SEC didn't even offer him, and he's down there in Atlanta, Georgia. So there's something that Joe Rudolph liked. Go find a bunch of those guys all throughout the country, and especially with the scholarships. That's the other thing. The scholarships going to 105. Notre Dame could easily find 5 more guys like that, like you're saying, Mike, of just, hey, we like this guy. We're going to bring you in, see what you could do. Basically try you out for a couple of years, and you don't make it, life moves on. That's, the life of the way the game's going. But no, it's cool. It's cool little body, coming in. He's been really good. I've read a ton of his stuff over the years from PFF and whatnot. So plus he's a Notre Dame alum. So, he's going to come there and work hard and try and get a national title for these guys. Okay,
I think you might be thinking of someone. I think Tresh went to IU, but Mike Renner went to
Notre Dame guy. maybe
Mike Renner went to Notre Dame. You're thinking of Renner there, but
gotcha. I was gonna say there's a couple Notre Dame dudes working at.
Yeah, I think we've had Mike on our YouTube show before.
Gotcha.
But
some of the, when you hear analytics,
director of analytics.
Yeah, so when you hear analytics, Mike, it's like you're winning the last play before the fourth quarter. Do you need the double safety blitz? Is there analytics for that? Things of that nature as you start breaking it down. But those are coaching decisions, obviously. But no, it's cool. It's an extra body in the office.
Yeah.
Me personally, I'll get more excited when a bunch of old dogs there with a lot of head coaching experience working in those offices like Saban used to have. Like, hey, I got 8 ex-coaches. Can you guys go break down some film?
Yeah, I think
excited. Not hiring Mike, it seems like they got 75 guys, like 30 and under, working at Notre Dame. And it's just like, we need some old dogs in there. So that's just me.
Says the old dog.
That's the old dog.
I will say
with some battle wounds over there.
Yeah. So John Bryce, who does an amazing job at Football Scoops, said that Notre Dame is taking an NFL modeled approach. And analytics is one of those. Like, he's talked about that a lot. Like, Freeman is it kind of, to use a Mike Singer term, data points, just different data points. You have the analytic data point, you have my own 2 eyes data point, you have history, kind of all these different things.
He used analytics when he wanted to estimate basically run the ball, get tackled, and kick a 50-yard field goal. So, luckily Estimate said, no, I'm going to score. But that was analytics there. So yeah, there's tons of that stuff. It's Moneyball concept, which is now all over the NFL as well. Moneyball's, it's cool. Just more numbers, like you say, Mike. It's data point. They hired a guy who's knee deep into this stuff. I'm sure he's going to find stuff, especially recruiting, because there's certain things they're measuring now, miles per hour, off of film, all this stuff that they're doing. Body type, that's obviously a Landau thing. The new strength coach. Same with Matt Balis before. He would give a thumbs up, thumbs down on offering guys off body types. Can they pack on 20 more pounds, speed wise, things of that nature? So it's pretty cool. Freeman's, and he loves this stuff because he's a young head coach, and this is all the rage these days. So he's using it. Just don't copy the analytics the crazy Charger coach did, and just did some of the most dumbest things in the history of football coaching. That's why he got fired. But don't go overboard with analytics too much. So at the end of the day, a little common sense goes a long way on the football field.
Yeah. Tim, I'm going to – we do have a few topics left. I'm going to name –
Sure.
We're going to dive into talk about some true freshmen. I'm going to give you some names or positions, and I want your thoughts, okay? Who's going to burn red shirts? Who's not? So here we go.
Okay, I like this.
Well, I'm also reading your text.
Do the obvious ones.
Okay, I'm reading what you said. Waves are KVA 2 OTs. What do you mean?
Oh, yeah. We're just talking about, who's making waves and
waves. Okay.
Who's making waves, So
the 2 true freshman offensive linemen, specifically Gerby and Knapp.
Yeah.
You think those guys burn their red shirts?
Oh God, yeah. Yeah. You have to, because that's your third and fourth tackle. I'm sure they're going to be playing. So
hopefully not, hopefully not too much.
Notre Dame, knock on wood, is smashing some teams.
Yeah, all right.
So you can't have Baker and Wagner playing in the fourth quarter. Someone needs to play. And those are your backup tackles right now. They're both true freshmen. So yeah, I see those guys playing. Heck, who's to say one of those guys don't start sometime this season? So I would say they both are going to. Once again, this is ahead of schedule. So this was not the plan to burn these guys, but I think you have to burn them this year, just because you need that experience. And both of those guys, the odds of them playing next year are pretty high, because you still got. Baker's going to be gone next year, so you better get some experience with Knapp and Lambert, since Charles is out with the injury. Rocco and Tim Coogan. They can come back next year, but who's to say they don't move on after, go play a 5th year somewhere else, kind of like Zeke did this year, even though that's a 6th. But play those guys. They're not going to redshirt.
Okay. Yeah, and Kingston, obviously, that's an obvious one. And then,
He's going to burn his by game 4.
what do you think about no relation these two guys? We got running back Kedron Young and defensive end Bryce Young.
I think the running backs are going to play. Why are you redshirting running backs? So you got 2, obviously we know about, in Price and Love. Once again, there's going to be some blowout games. So I see the two freshmen playing just because you're going to need some guys in the second half. Even though Ford's that, another gray hair we're talking about, he's going to get some reps, but I would not be surprised if the 2 freshmen play, just keep their feet wet. From there, Ford is going to be on. Price is going to be a true senior next year, so play those guys.
Okay. Keep closing this out. Micah
Again,
Gilbert, Saldate, any of the receivers for you? Any of those freshmen?
I bet you none of those guys. I know Gilbert keeps getting all this hype and all that, but he's like the 8th receiver. It's like
I'll just a quick pivot. The Notre Dame staff keeps talking about 6.
Yep.
Goolsby and I did this exercise last night. It was like to try to find the 6th. It was like you got to choose between like Colsey, Jaden Harrison, KK Smith, Micah Gilbert. It was like, oof. Or unless Harrison doesn't really count because they view him as a gadget guy, not like a traditional wide receiver or something like that. But
you got your 6 right now. You got Chris Mitchell and phase on to the field. You got Harrison, Greathouse, your slot, and you're going Thomas and Collins. Collins. There's 6 right there. Those are your basic 6. Harris, obviously, and you got 3 of those guys are transfers. So those 6 are playing. Colsey's not in the mix. He's just not in the mix. Let's be really honest. And then you got the freshman guys. KK's a redshirt freshman. KK could be in that next batch, but it's like this conversation people are having. Oh, we're going to play 5 linebackers. How? You run a 2 linebacker defense. How the hell are 5 playing? Unless it's just all have little gadgets here and there they're going to play. But 6 wide receivers, that's been Mike Brown mentioned that the first day he got hired. So playing 7, 8, 9 receivers in a game is impossible until it's the 4 or the 2 max and the 2 service.
Yeah, I still think it's going to end up being 6 plus 1. I think it's.
And then if it is a plus 1, then maybe that's like Gilbert as a freshman.
I still like KK. I like KK, but Gilbert's. I don't know. This is a great problem to have. But look, Tim, I love my Liverpool soccer, right? And Liverpool will be stacked at some positions. And in the preseason, you're like, man, how are we going to play all these guys? And then middle of the season, you're like, oh my gosh, we have no one to play. Everyone's hurt.
Like last year, and
knock on wood. So yeah, it's exactly. Remember the Duke game? You got,
But you have 6. Your 6 are set.
So this is a good problem to have.
You have that next batch of 3, which is your Colsey, your KK Smith, and your Micah Gilbert.
Yeah, if Colsey
and Cam Williams are going to be chilling.
Those 2 are pretty safe.
It's 11 scholarship players, so yeah.
Yeah.
They're going to be on the field and play your 4 games and save a red shirt.
If Colsey is your 8th best, 9th best receiver, whatever, it's a really good 9th best receiver. Who knows where Deion Colsey would be at right now, aside from injuries. The guy's made some nice plays over his career. Just always kind of
injuries have taken his toll.
Yeah. Mr. Hyde. Wait, let me see if we had. The nickel spot. Carson Hobbs, Leonard Moore.
Moore.
What do you
Well, it goes back to you got to start thinking about the following season with some of these guys as well, right? So you got, I don't even realize there's a lot of dudes leaving off this football team. So someone's got to play in 2025. Clark, who's Clark's backup? We don't know. Hurd could play nickel. Well, then that means Schuler's got to play the safety, obviously. So, the 2 corners, we really have 3 corners on this team. So there's going to be games in the fourth quarter, in the second half, once again, that are playing. Hobbs and Moore are probably going to have to get on the field. So, and burn, and burn those years, which is fine. They're going to play. And that's the other thing. I think as a coach, you're like, these dudes, they're playing next year. They're playing. There are a ton of old guys leaving, so you got to get some guys ready to play. So, like someone said, Gerby's not going to burn a red shirt. Who's playing offensive tackle this year? In some of these games, when you're running out the clock, you have to play a fourth offensiget tackle. And right now, unless they just put Chan out there to save
Gerby Lambert, just don't
play Gerby Lambert. Get him. At the end of the day, man, you can't start thinking 5 years down the road in this modern.
Yeah, you're just coaching. You're just saving a guy for the next coach.
Well, yeah, saving the guy for the next coach. So play the son of a gun. So, and as far as else on defense, the other one is Bryce Young. He's going to play. They're not going to redshirt him. He's going to play, even though he's the third technically behind Oben and Burnham, but he's going to play. He's going to play.
Folks, please hit the thumbs up on this video. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you have not done so yet. This tweet is from CFB Alerts. They made a little graphic for. I'm going to trust that they did it accurately. But this is 24/7 Sports. One of their writers did a top 25 college football quarterbacks lists. Shedeur Sanders #1 is that Jackson Dart's 2. George quarterback's 3. The big Bama. I don't know why I can't think of any names right now. The guy who's unstoppable in EA college football. Bama quarterback thing. Jalen Miller, yeah, and then Quinn Ewers number 5 there. Carson Beck, the George quarterback. They got Riley Leonard at 13.
Yeah.
What do you think? Do you think that's about right?
I think Riley Leonard's a top 10 guy. Just once again, man, when I get bored sometimes I just throw on some Leonard stuff and watch, and it's like he's fun to watch. He really is. He's not, this NFL quarterback thrower and whatnot. The dude's gonna run like crazy. I see him being almost like a Milroe type guy. I rewatched the SEC title game a few days ago because I've just been studying some Georgia lately, and Jalen Milroe is insane. That dude is an athlete times 10, man. He's unbelievable. But Riley Leonard's like that. Yeah, Drew Allar would not have up there. My guy in the top 5 that one of the most no one even thinks about is the quarterback at Arizona out of Servite in the Trinity League.
Fafita, yeah.
That dude, man.
Him and T-Mac.
Oh my God, yeah. T-Mac is. I know Notre Dame tried recruiting him, and it's like that. He's the best. He's one of the best receivers in the country. He'll be a first-round pick next year. Absolutely, just grown man at wide receiver. One of the best volleyball players in the nation. Talent times 10, but he's in my top 5s. And Shedeur is just a hype. He can't throw. I mean, the guy's not a stiff. The guy's got a cannon of an arm. He's just a lightning rod because he's Deion's son and all the stuff you hear. But I think if you go into a season with that top 5, it's fine, right?
Yeah.
And then it's not a big year for like freakish stud NFL looking type quarterbacks when you really look at it. So
yeah,
pretty down year. But I think Riley Leonard's a top 10 quarterback. I think he's going to have those types of stats, that type of impact. And I know we all worried and scared about offensive tackle, dude. Right? Riley Leonard is going to scramble like mad. Yeah. He is. He's going to be all over the place.
Yeah, I think 13's is fair for right now. 3 opponents quarterback on the list. You got Connor Weigman, A&M, DJ Uiagalelei at FSU 22, and then Miller Moss at 25.
Hey, 10 seconds. That goes back to the schedule. What quarterback? I mean, Notre Dame's not playing powerhouse quarterbacks. They're not. I mean, the schedule's so spread out. You got 3 guys in the lower half that are ranked. So there's no elite offensive juggernauts Notre Dame's going to face this year as well with that top defense. So
18 days away, folks, from Notre Dame opening the season on the road at Texas A&M. Yeah, you got fall camps going. Football's just around the corner. You got preseason NFL games. Counting down the days until Notre Dame takes on Texas A&M. You're going to want to get geared up for year 3 under Marcus Freeman. You're going to want to do that over at HomeFieldApparel.com. They're launching their Can't Miss Football 2024 campaign, which is a month-long campaign delivering all the gear needed for football season. It includes a football box that launched a few days ago. We're going to take a look at that. It's got coaches jackets, bomber jackets, champs week, and more for this campaign. The football box is what we're going to talk about right now from a Notre Dame standpoint. Really unique stuff. You're only going to be able to find this at HomeField, and these items are never before seen at HomeField. This Notre Dame football box is curated so Irish fans have something new to wear all season long. These Platinum Box VIPs has some exclusive additional items like you got a hat, ringer, and koozie, plus 20% off items and early access. HomeField sponsored us for the 2023 season. You guys know I love their product. One of their t-shirts I'm wearing all the time. I love my Notre Dame tennis sweatshirt. And hopefully, HomeField, if you're watching, send me some new things. I want to wear more. Wide range of available colleges. So get something for yourself. And then, you can grab something for a friend, but really get it for yourself. They have licensed clothing for more than 180 colleges. That number keeps growing. So, yeah, you can get some gear for a loved one that sadly maybe isn't a fan of Notre Dame. So get yourself some stuff. Maybe some Notre Dame gear for your friends as well. Great time to shop at HomeField. Make sure you check out the website, homefieldapparel.com. Use the promo code BGI, which is good for 15% off your first order at homefield.com. Again, folks, the promo code is BGI, good for 15% off your first order at HomeField. I get messages all the time on our message board. Hey, Mike, who's that one sponsor, the apparel one where you get all the cool Notre Dame stuff? Because the vintage look, but it's not old and stinky. That's special. And so I'm a big fan of HomeField. Big fan of HomeField. When I was told that they were renewing with us, I was pretty fired up. So it's homefieldapparel.com. I don't know, Tim, what it is, but I love these little Twitter accounts that just pop up this interesting data. It's really good off-season fodder. But I love this. So you had the NFL do their top 100 players list, which, by the way, Tyreek Hill being number one. I'm a Dolphins fan, but number one. But the players vote on it, so who am I to say? So where'd they come from, right? What colleges they come from? So CFB rep tweeted the 2024 NFL top 100 players list by school. No shocker, Bama's far and away number one with 9. How about tied at second? You got 3 teams: Ohio State, LSU, and Notre Dame. What do you think about this, Tim? Is this something? Is this nothing?
Oh, so this is the NFL one. I thought this was a college football.
No. So this is the NFL top 100 players list that the players vote on.
Yeah, Harrison Smith, Kyron Williams, Zach Martin, Kyle Hamilton. Who am I missing?
Harrison Smith. Did you say Big Q?
He didn't make it.
What?
He's been off the radar the last couple of years. Some injuries, and he's made the Pro Bowl every year, but he's kind of been off the radar. I thought this was a top 100 college football.
No,
like top guys ranked. But I mean, what it says is Notre Dame's got some darn good football players. Obviously, playing in the NFL, they've been developing guys, getting them drafted.
Julian Love. Did you say Julian Love?
Oh my God, Julian Love. Yes. Julian, Harrison were in the 90s. Kyron was like 70s. Martin was I thought Zach Martin was low as could be. He is just mauling people still. He still has that crazy record, like more all pros than holding calls in his career. That's insane. It's like, that's crazy. And then Kyle Hamilton was top 50-ish, I think, for his first time getting in there. I thought even he was low after the season he had last year. So some good football players right there in that one. Yeah. And then you got Nelson, who should be in there. He had a hell of a year last year. He had like one bad year and everyone kind of forgot about him. And he came back last year and mauled people. He had really, really good numbers. So technically, Andy should be 6 up in there. So, but hey, you look at it, it's good numbers. And then you see some of the teams, right, that you're going to be playing as well this year. That's what I like to look at, is who's up there competing. FSU, A&M, SC. SC is way down there, right?
Yeah.
Who is SC's one? If any fans out there, who's in the message board? I can't even think of USC's football player. Who the heck is SC have in the top? Maybe the linebacker for the Chargers, the DN. I didn't watch it. I taped the top 20 or the top 10 show they did. I haven't watched it yet, but I know I saw some of the stuff on Twitter. But hey, it's good pub. That's the thing. That's the other thing. Good pub. Send this thing down here. All the analytics guys that they're hiring, Mike, if they could do little graphics and send this to all the recruits down south,
Sure.
show them that, that'd be some cool analytics, right?
All right.
But that's what this is. It's fodder. Notre Dame is producing dudes. Come up and play in South Bend. Have some fun.
All right. One other thing, Tim. I saw this. It's from a few weeks ago.
Yes, this is maddening.
Top 10 college football players since 2000 per ESPN. There are no Notre Dame guys on here. I don't know if you want to make a case for one, Tim. I'm all here.
Yeah.
Ndamukong Suh's 1, Baker Mayfield 2, Cam Newton 3, Vince Young's 4, Ed Reed's 5, Tim Tebow 6, Reggie Bush 7, Bryant McKinney 8. That's the offense tag for Miami. 9's Joe Burrow, and 10 is Larry Fitzgerald. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, so you go from 2000. So number 1 for me is Reggie Bush. How the heck is he not number 1? Yeah, no Ian Book. There you go, Jay Carr. Oh, I love that. But Reggie Bush, when you look at football players, should be number 1. So let's look. So I looked at this real quick, Mike, as far as Matt. How the heck is Baker Mayfield ahead of Matt Leinart?
Tim
won a Heisman, won a national championship. Well, he got 1.5. He split one in 03, won it in 04, and obviously one of the greatest games in history of college football. Matt Leinart should be top 10 since then. So I started looking at, okay, they wanted to name a DB. Well, Ed Reed didn't even win the darn Jim Thorpe Award. So is this an NFL thing? Heck of a year at Miami.
If it's an NFL thing, then why the hell's Baker Mayfield number 2?
I know, but I'm just saying Ed Reed. So they chose to put a DB on there. The highest ranked DB since 2020 to now would have been, I looked at Heisman voting, was Tyrone, the Honey Badger, Tyrone
Matthew. Hell yeah.
2011. Unbelievable season.
He was electric.
Tons of awards. Took his team to the national championship game, obviously. For as far as accolades go, he should be up there. Really, it's a handful of LSU DBs. I hate to say it. Pat Peterson, Morris Claiborne, there's dudes all over the place at LSU. Ed Reed, heck of a career, top 10? No way in hell. That's just me. So I look at offensive linemen. They picked Bryant McKinney. He won the Outland. Unanimous All-American, all those things. But the best offensive tackle or offensive lineman since 2000 is Joe Thomas. So Joe Thomas. And check this out, Mike. You know who was this close? I started thinking about. There hasn't been an offensive lineman that's won the Lombardi Award since Orlando Pace won it back-to-back years in the mid-90s. Joe Alt was like a smidgen from winning the Lombardi this year for the first lineman since the 90s. I still can't believe he didn't win that darn thing.
I can't believe
Yeah, I would have put Joe Thomas there when you look at – if you're looking at an O lineman. Larry Fitzgerald's a no-brainer. His stats are freakish. Unbelievable back-to-back
seasons. Do you like Sue at number 1?
No. Because
you said you like Bush there.
Yeah, it'd be Reggie Bush. So they pick Sue as they claim him to be the best defensive football player since 2000, which they do. How in the heck is it not Manti Te'o? The dude won every award like Sue did, but he finished second in the Heisman. Check this out. This is one of my favorite little stats here. I did. Manti Te'o, first place votes, 321 first place votes. Sue had 161, finished 4th. So that gives a huge disparity right there. Te'o had over 1,700 votes. Manti Te'o would have been second almost for the entire decade with how high his votes were. Extremely, extremely high up there. Sue had just a hair over 800. So Manti Te'o more than doubled his total votes. I was stunned. When I saw this, I'm like, how the hell is Manti Te'o not on this thing? He won every award, second in the Heisman, took his team to the national championship game. That's
only, Tim, is he not in the top 10? He is not in their top 25.
No.
He's also not in their first team outs listed in alphabetical order.
See, who did this? Is ESPN. Yeah, see, I just saw the top 10. So I didn't
no Notre Dame at all in this. for what it's worth.
How the hell is Manti Te'o is not? See, this is just pure stupidity. It just is. It is.
All right.
He's one of the most decorated football players in the history of college football.
Manti, should at least be in the top 20.
Who do they have as the linebackers? Do you have it in front of you just for 30 seconds?
Khalil Mack.
Khalil Mack over Manti Te'o. Okay.
Will Anderson. Do you count Will Anderson as a linebacker?
He's a defensive end.
And then Dwight Freeney is listed in this first team out. Derek Johnson from Texas, Luke Kuechly from BC. I mean, Luke Kuechly is a good shout. But
Derek Johnson was a solid football player.
Yeah, he was really good. Rest in peace, I believe, if I remember.
He passed away. He was the Texas linebacker right on the title team and the 05 team. Really good football player. But Manti Te'o, are you kidding me? Manti's top 10. I mean, this is ridiculous.
Okay. I don't think he passed away. I'm sorry if I just.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
This is
thinking of someone else. My bad.
So yeah.
Anyways.
I saw the top 10, and so I broke it down by they think Sue, but he's not even the best defensive player. Sue's a freakazoid. Don't get me wrong. Manti deserved to be in there. So those were just mine. As far as quarterbacks go, Baker Mayfield the best guy. Matt Leinert's top 10. That would be my quarterback ahead of Baker, which kills me because freaking 4th and 9. Oh my God. For all the
Baker
guys.
Mayfield.
Hey.
So please. All right. Well, so whoever in the chat is saying Johnny Manziel, you're off your freaking mind. I mean, you're more nuts than John Kennedy from Always Irish if you're putting
Johnny Manziel. Johnny Manziel.
He had a few fun games.
Manziel?
He had a few fun games. Manziel.
Oh, I'm
not putting him in the top.
I mean, they went 8 with it. But over Baker, his 1 year is pretty dynamic. But
it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
I'll stick today. Yeah, Manziel's.
He was fun, but I mean, top 10 college football players. We were talking Baker, though. How many quarterbacks from Oklahoma put up crazy numbers since 2000? You got Kyler, you got Baker.
You got Sam Bradford.
Sam Bradford.
Heupel was a Heisman runner-up. So
you know what Baker Mayfield did? Go 11-2. That seems like Oklahoma's record just about every year. He put up some huge numbers. They didn't win jack.
Mike, 11-2 is better than 9-3, buddy. So I don't know what you're talking about. So I'll take it. Hey, just a quick question for all those in the chat and all the guys that follow it back. Top 5 head coaches. So I started thinking of this. This is just a little quick one off of the players. Obviously, to me, the top 4 are no-brainers. Let's see what people think. Obviously, Saban, Urban Meyer, Dabo, Pete Carroll. I think that's pretty consensus since 2000. Would you agree? Off top of your head. I'm not asking you if you saw the movie, Mike. So just off top of your head. All right. So I think
you say it again. I'm sorry. Saban, Dabo.
Saban, Meyer, Dabo, Pete Carroll. Those 4 all dominated, multiple championships, all those things. How about 5th? This is what I thought about. Would you go Bob Stoops or Jim Tressel? Each has a title. Each went to multiple title games. Tons of conference titles. Each have a Heisman on their resume, right? So I don't know. I just thought of that.
I think I might lean Stoops.
I had Stoops too. I had him in there. I had him as my 5th over Tressel. But I don't know. I just thought of this real quick when I was jotting some notes down for the show tonight. I thought, this would be a nice little one. I didn't have Les Miles on there because he got canned. So what about Harbaugh? I don't think Harbaugh's a top. Well, no, my God, Tim, how do you say it? Harbaugh was unbelievable at freaking Stanford. So I was at that, just a little off the kilter. I was at the 2007 game when they were like 40-point underdogs and beat SC. I was in that stadium. Unbelievable night.
I got one more
thing. Stoops. Go for it.
I got one more thing, Tim. Notre Dame just tweeted this out. How about a little Riley Leonard?
Is this edited
like the Colorado one? There's a little nice toss here to Creasy, as they call him, I think. Creasy.
All right. Well, the coach in me, all I care about is who got torched.
I think it was Christian Gray.
Oh, that's always good. That's good. Get an 8.
Right? That looks like Christian Gray. Or is that BMO?
Was that Ben Morrison? A little
It's
8-yard
tough to,
cushion?
no, I think that's a 9. I think that's Christian Gray.
No, that's good. Hopefully A&M doesn't have a guy who's fast. I don't know. Seriously, when I watch these videos, I love watching them. I love seeing who's who. And then I always love watching, all right, who's getting their ass kicked. It is like the other day, Gerby's just mauling Bubakar, just blowing him out. Who was it? Craig is just – I keep hearing all this Armel Mukum hype, and poor Mukum's just getting manhandled by Ashton Craig. Rocco crushed Cole Mullins one time. I was like, well, it's okay. He can redshirt. But those are the little side things I'm always looking at in the film. The good and the bad. Take it all.
All right. My camera did not mess up once. It did when we were before we pressed record or go live, but we are good.
Good stuff. Good show. Well, 1 week closer, everybody. 1 week.
1 week closer. 1 week closer. Looking forward to it. So we'll be back next Tuesday. Tomorrow night you got Jack Sobel and Tyler Horka, 8 p.m. Talking about fall camp and whatnot. And then Kyle Kelly and I will be live Thursday, 1 p.m. Eastern time to talk some Notre Dame football recruiting. I really appreciate you guys for tuning in. As always, we'll catch you next time. Go to blueandgold.com. Have a great night, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow.